I'm Ricky Willis. You might have seen me on TV, and now I'm taking on the podcast world. Join me as we dive into stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I believe everyone has a story we can learn from. Let's talk about yours. This is the Clever Conversations podcast. What's going on, baby? It's your man, Clever. You already know Clever Conversations. And so today, I have the absolute pleasure of speaking with Miss Victoria Barnwell. Victoria, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time and spending some time with Clever Conversations, man.
Thank you for having me.
Please, thank you. So, why don't you tell the people a little bit about who Victoria Barnwell is?
Victoria Barnwell. I am she. First foremost, I am a mother of two handsome, bright, athletic boys. The oldest being 30. I know. Get it together.
Pause. You got a 30-year-old child?
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah, get it together. And the youngest will be 15 Monday. So that's my most important attribute, my children. I'm mommy, their biggest fan. That's me. Business owner, still working in corporate America. Sometimes you have to do both.
Listen.
And in these times in our trucking industry, our market, you have to do both. So we do both to survive. We do both to make things work. I would like to think I'm a great sibling to my two brothers and sister, and an awesome daughter to my parents.
What's the over-under on that right now? What do you think they'll say if they flip the coin? They're gonna be like, yeah,
she's bomb. She's dope. That's what they better say. That's what they better say. No, I think my siblings would say, we have a good relationship. We rock. We don't talk every day, except for me and my sister. We do talk every day. We see each other every day.
Wow.
But I would think that they would see me in a good light.
Yeah, I'm sure. You come from good cloth, so
I do. I come from the best cloth.
Yes.
No doubt about it. My family, we have a huge family here in the Savannah community, and, we do what we're supposed to do for one another and our friends, pretty much for anybody who needs help. That's just who my family is.
I like it. So we're going to get into some questions, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And because I'm a little bit old, I got them kind of broken down. So what inspired you to get into trucking, to get into the trucking industry? And what are some of the challenges that you faced coming in?
Honestly, I just was looking for a job at one point, and a very good friend of mine, her husband, worked at a trucking company, and he worked for one of the companies that owns the largest, shipping company in the world. So they have a subdivision of transportation. I started there as a temp, and they had no position for me, but the general manager, I guess, saw something in me, and she took me on, and for like 2.5 months, I did, clerical things, nothing much, until she found a spot for me.
Create a position for that lady.
That's it.
That's right.
She created a position for me, and then I started in safety, and pretty much she threw me in that hot seat, minimal training, different
Let me see if
political
you got
things.
It. Let me see if you got what I think you got.
Yeah, so I pretty much was self-taught in that position. She did assist where needed, but pretty much teaching myself and making safety my baby. So for all things safety for 5 years in trucking, that's what I did.
Safety being OSHA type stuff?
No, safety in transportation safety, making sure the driver's credentials were intact. The truck, everything was DOT compliant, and even for the company, it's just certain records that we had to maintain and make sure everything was on file timely. So, yeah.
So what would you say was one of the most challenging things? Just being thrown in there, or have you experienced anything else during the process of the industry?
I think being thrown in there, because it's either sink or swim, and I'm going to swim in every situation. No matter what life throws at me, I'm going to swim.
Come on now with the lemonade.
So, yeah, I think that being thrown in there and having to learn everything, she saw that independence in me and that I could do a good job. So going from 52% non-compliant to 99.99% compliant, I'll let you guys leave that point off so it doesn't oh, she has a big head. She wants to be perfect.
Listen, get your due.
I was darn near perfect in that. And I just happened one day flipping through some records, helping payroll, I saw a driver settlement. And I was like, oh, this is what the drivers make? I didn't understand it. The amount of money to me was crazy. And this is what he gets paid every week. So, of course, I wanted to chase the money. I went to my boss. Hey, help me be great. I held a settlement to her, in her face, help me be great. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, how do I make this money? And she told me what I needed to do. I already knew how to form a business. I already knew how to, just set up a business structure, just learned that in getting my master's degree. So it was already, God prepared me on the back end for what I was getting ready to go into on the front end. So I did just that. I formed my own business and I went and bought a truck, and everything for 3 years from that truck earning money, I sat on it. My truck didn't provide income to take care of me. My truck provided income to sit there so I can build my business.
Come on.
So that's what I did. And I grew from there. Once that truck was paid off and I saw a profit, I would designate money for another truck, name that purpose, what that truck was meant to do, and sought to do that. All of my trucks had different names. One could have been school tuition. Another could have been vacation. One could have been retirement. I just named a purpose for each one of my trucks so that I could build my business for what I wanted for myself.
Amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
So what's your first truck name?
Purpose.
Okay. I like it.
And the purpose was to build a business. So that was my purpose. Knew nothing about it. Just find a driver, put a driver in that truck, maintain the truck, and pay your driver timely.
The maintenance on the vehicle. Now, I understand that's pretty, that could be pretty pricey, yeah?
Yeah.
Tires
are expensive. Yeah, if you're putting them all around. But being that I was new in trucking and I was married at the time I started, and my ex did all the maintenance for the most part on the trucks. So I didn't have to pay for a lot of labor there, just parts. So we were building a life that we wanted.
You had this thing, man, listen.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Since you've been in the trucking industry, how long has this been?
2017.
Okay. So since 2017, that'll give us what, seven years now? What have you seen it evolve to the better? Have you seen it drop down to the worse in those 7 years?
I've seen growth, exponential growth, and decline. And now we're in a state right now, we're building back.
Coming back.
Okay. It's been tough for truckers. And I would like to think that I'm a truckers advocate. I fight for my drivers. And that's not just people that's under my belt. That's people in the driver community. If they don't know something, they did something wrong, they're not compliant, they have a safety audit, I was that person to be there to help. And oftentimes I was reprimanded for not charging for the services. Well, I know what it felt like not to have help when I needed it. So that's where my passion came in, to help the trucker. I'm the trucker's advocate. That's just all to it. I'm going to help the people that's attached to me, and we're going to win. So a lot of things change when the market just, the pandemic rates were like, yeah, let's get this money. And that's what we did. We got to the money. And then when things started to change and decline, you had people that didn't know how to manage their money. I knew that from high school. I was taught how to manage money. Not everybody had that opportunity to learn how to manage their money and save for difficult times.
I manage all 4 of my quarters, so I was able to go to the store and get a soda and a honey bun. So,
but it was a good one, right? It was good.
It was definitely a good one.
The best honey buns was what?
Come on,
Sunbeam honey buns. Come on,
stop, girl. You're making my mouth water. Think
this
about
is Savannah. This is what it is. So yeah, if all you had that week was enough for the honey bun and a soda, then that's what we did. We had honey buns and soda.
And we enjoyed it.
And we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. I've had my honey bun and soda moments, For the past 3 years, it's been difficult, but I never went broke. And I don't care if I had $2 in the bank, I'm not broke. I just would always say my money's in circulation.
Yeah. So a millionaire friend of mine, I call him a friend because I can call him and he'll answer the phone. Hey, what's up, Rick? So that's why I say that. A millionaire friend of mine told me a while ago. He said something to me that I won't forget ever. He
Mm,
said, "If you woke up broke, you should have never went to sleep.
makes sense.
If you woke up broke, you should have never went to sleep. You should have been hustling, trying to not be broke when you wake up." So to me, that was like that kind of whole weight in the back of my head. Like if you woke up broke, you should have never went to sleep. Always be trying to secure the bag.
And I value that. And in him saying that to you, did he give you exponential reasons or other opportunities to secure the bag?
No, I wasn't really trying to get anything from him. So I said the question was, I said to him, I said, well, you definitely okay, so you're good. What would be one of the what would you tell somebody that's trying to come up and make it in the business and like because at this time I had a auto detailing service. I said, so what would you say to somebody who's asking you how to gain the focus? He said, if you woke up broke, you should have never went to sleep. And from the back end, interpreting what he said is always be hustling, always be trying to get it. Because when you think you got enough, you don't have enough. Always be trying to get it. Always don't get content is kind of what I got from it. Don't get
Right.
content, hustle.
Right. So I
So
guess what he was saying is you need multiple streams of income.
definitely need multiple streams.
I have quite a few millionaire friends, but only one ever told me what I needed most.
What was that? Can you pass it? Pay attention. This is a jewel that we are about to get. Hopefully. Are you going to pass the
I'm
jewel?
going to pass
The
it.
jewel is passed. Pass the jewel.
You have your trucking business, but that should not only be your only focus. You need to invest.
Invest.
Stock. And here's another one, stock options. That's what my millionaire friend told me.
Okay.
So I listened to my millionaire friends. Have I always done what they told me? No. Did I like what they told me? No. But it's working for them. So when trucking slowed down, trucking will be something I'll forever do trucking until I don't want to do it anymore. Not because I still have to do it. So that's where I am in life. I do it until I don't want to anymore.
You know what? That is kind of one of the things I tell my daughters is you do what you got to do today so you could do what you want to do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is the doing what you got to do. I basically I want to hustle as much as I can because when I turn 70 or 60 or whatever, I want to work if I want to work
Yeah.
for somebody else. I don't want to be, nor do I want my children to be, the person that is have to go to work and you're a senior, have to go to work when you retired 3 times already. I don't want that. So we're gonna hustle.
Yeah.
It's in our veins.
That's how we know.
It's
Hustle.
in our veins. So we're gonna hustle and we're gonna, at the end of the day, if we don't make it, it won't because we didn't try.
We didn't try.
It will not be because we didn't try.
Yeah. I agree. I think that hustling is all we know. I mean, we'll find ways to make money 100 different ways. But at this point in my life, I don't want to find ways to make money 100 different ways. I want that avenue that's going to secure the bag, no matter if the market is up or if the market is down. I want to make money.
Right. I like it.
And I'm going to make some money.
She's going to secure the bag.
I'm going to secure
The
it.
bag is secured already, zipped up and everything.
Yeah, I love trucking, transportation. I love the hustle of it because that's what it is. I love the hustle of, hey, go get this box. It got to be out and take it here, take it there. Hurry up. You got 2 hours left on the clock. I love the hustle and bustle of it all. Heck, I'll even take a load when my back is against the wall. I'll do that. But at the end of the day, when the trucker gets out of his truck, he needs a nest egg because 9 times out of 10, there's no retirement plan.
Away from his family.
There's nothing after the truck. So let's talk about getting stuff after the truck.
That was a lie.
Yeah.
Please pay attention to what she said because if you don't go do what she said, remember, there is nothing after the truck. I like that. All right, so let's go into Let's go into the how hard it is, or is how difficult it is to be a CEO of your own company, um to manage that and being a single mom. Like how is that process? Is I can imagine that it's not easy to make sure you got work time, make sure you got children time, make sure you got your time, and still think about what we need to do to grow this business.
It's not easy. If I sit here and paint the picture, oh, it's easy because it's easy for me, I'd be lying. It's not easy. It's your family structure, your business, and sometimes your work structure and friendships. And all of it can be tied into one. I find myself answering the phone at my kids' game and I missed the play. I missed the pick. Something important because I needed to answer the phone because the driver was on the road. It's not easy. You just have to find a balance. You have to find a balance. And, it's no secret. Marriage and divorce is public information. I was working to find a balance when my home life was just in total misery and chaos. I repressed every feeling that I've ever felt, dealt by what was going on in my marriage, to make sure I could do what I needed to do for my drivers and other truckers. I was making sure everybody else was good, and I wasn't.
You wasn't.
I would get up every morning, make sure everybody else had what they needed, and I didn't have what I need. So every feeling that I had for myself, I just repressed it. All the hurt, the anger, the disappointment, the disrespect, I just kept burying it until one day I exploded. And it went left. So when it went left, I went south. I went down. I got in a pit of bad depression to I halted everything, including my business. And that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to completely just stop your business. But all I had enough in me every day to survive was to be a mom. I had enough to get out of bed to make sure my kid got to school and got what he needed. And the trucks didn't matter. The business didn't matter. I still had enough capacity in me to pay who I needed to pay who I owed, to keep my credit in good standing, to do certain things to survive after the aftermath, okay? That's all I had enough capacity to do. And then when you see me now, she's bouncing back. Yeah, you can look at it as bounce back, but I'm me. I'm going to hustle through it. I'm going to swim.
That's right.
So it's not easy managing and juggling a business and being a single mom and balancing friendships. It's
and
not.
self-time.
Self-time. I make it a point. Sundays are my self-care days.
Okay.
And I'm adamant on self-care. I'm adamant on getting 90-minute massages. That's not something, how the kids say, I'm not capping on that. At one point, I was going twice a week. Well, when I went this week, I noticed that all the trauma that used to be in my body from all the turmoil in my life, it wasn't there. So do I need a 90-minute massage every week now? No. But we could do 60. We still could do 60. So, self-care is very important to me. I buy myself flowers. I love fresh flowers.
What's your favorite flower?
Roses are my favorite.
Okay.
Calla lilies are my second favorite. Just so you
That
guys
the white
know.
one?
Yes.
That kind of leans out?
Yes.
Kind of tall on the stem?
Very elegant.
Okay, yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah. Grown up.
And fruits. You gotta have roses, rose petals, and different fruits in your bath, and pamper you.
First, favorite fruit.
Peaches.
Second favorite fruit.
Oranges.
Third favorite fruit.
Apples.
Peaches, oranges, apples. Fourth.
I don't know. Cherries. I always tell people I don't have a favorite anything.
Well, I mean, if you're getting ready to put the fruit in the bath.
I only put.
I don't know if watermelon going. I feel like the seeds.
Yeah, I don't want. No, just juice your watermelon. But no, the only fruit that go in my bath may be a few orange slices, every now and again lemon, but mostly rose petals and different flower petals. Just whatever.
I like it. Just some peace.
Yeah.
Little jazz music.
Some kind of oil and bath salt to relax me.
All right. All right. Jazz or hip hop?
Jazz.
Old school or contemporary jazz? Boney James or Kenny G?
Kenny G.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Kenny G.
Yeah.
Now, I might listen to Boney James music, but I can't tell you it's Boney James because I'm not a music fanatic. I don't know a lot of music by the artist. If I like it, and I'm going to listen to it. There's a song that always sticks in my head. My friend, I would always sing, and he was like, there's that song. He finally heard it, and he said, as a matter of fact, this morning, there's that song. I finally heard it, and it's by the Sexy Red young lady. She sings that song, Baby, I'll sing that song, that who, Baby, I love you. Yep.
I don't listen to
I know. You need to listen to it regardless.
I'm too old.
You need to listen to it.
Is this the same girl that tells us the color of our rear anatomy?
I don't know.
Cavities?
I don't know. I just know that particular song I like. Just that part, the chorus part of that song. So, yeah.
Yeah. My millennial daughter in the back said, yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
Is it the same? So, what was the words to it?
Ooh, baby. What? I love you.
Is that the same song I'm talking about?
Babe, I love you. You my everything. Yeah, I be saying that to myself because I love me. Because at one point, I didn't love me enough to get out of the bed, and just push. Yeah. I didn't have it in me to love me enough to do that. Now, she's back.
When you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror and be like, Mary J., hello, good morning, gorgeous.
Pretty much.
Okay, I ain't mad at you, queen.
Pretty much. I have every reason to wake up in the morning and just be happy, be joyful, just be me.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned from being a single mother and an entrepreneur? Some of the lessons that you learned other than making sure that you have self-care, because self-care is mental care. So it takes care of you. I'm guessing that when you have self-care, it's like a mental peace.
It is.
So what are some of the...
I would say organization.
Okay.
And schedules. Because a single mom, she's the nurse, the doctor, the chef,
the coach,
the janitor. She has all these hats as a single mom. There's nobody else to, split those chores with her but the children. And all the time, the kids have extracurricular activities that, heck, they're not home till late. So right. They're tired and their grades may suffer. You just have to have a balance. Just create a schedule and try to stick to it as best you can and stay as organized as possible.
Okay. Yep. So let's talk a little bit about the marriage. How long were you married? 9
years.
Okay. And it's fair to say that you are not married now. Yeah.
That's fair.
How if you don't mind, if you feel like it, how did that come about? Did one day you just like, you know what? Every time I come home, you want rice. We're having salad tonight.
We didn't have those petty things in the marriage. For the most part of the marriage, it was me being a good wife, him being a good husband until it wasn't. We balanced. There was help when I needed around the house. There was help with the children. My children, his children, whenever his kids were there, my child was present.
Blended family?
We had a good blended family. Okay. We were good. We were good until we weren't. I can't speak for him, but I'll speak for myself. Okay. I'm not going to tolerate infidelity. I'm not going to tolerate disrespect. Did I work through it? Of course I did. I was still your wife when I found out. I still did what I was supposed to do. And not all the time was I perfect.
Only one person.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm not perfect. I dealt with a lot of things. I repressed a lot of things that I was going through because I was private. I didn't want people to know the worst part of my life. You got to see what I showed you. And then I still didn't show you everything. So nobody in my family, not even the children, can tell you that we had problems in the marriage or that I was unhappy. He knew, and I knew. He knew what he caused to make me unhappy, and I reacted. I never responded and I'm just learning all this stuff through therapy. You reacted to everything he did. You didn't respond. And my reaction most of the time was repressing anger, repressing bitterness, and borderline hate for you. You know, repressing all the negative things that a woman would when you feel like this is somebody you love and they don't respect you, or they're doing everything contrary to what they promised, you know. So when all the promises were broken, we didn't just right away get a divorce. We were staying in the same house until I had enough, you know,
Trying to
make it work.
right. But that's what the thing about marriage, and a lot of people don't really get it, is that it doesn't come with a manual. It don't come with a handbook and tell you if this breaks down, then you go to A, start, reset, delete. You don't.
Right.
It's so you have to either want to work through it, and so it sounds like you was trying to work.
Yeah,
through
I was
it.
trying to work through it. I didn't want a failed marriage. I didn't want to be divorced. That was something that we promised each other. And we even had our wedding glasses and knives and all that good stuff engraved with the initials of divorce was not an option. Well, you made an option when you didn't keep your vows. And I still stuck it out. As painful as it was forgiving every day. I had to forgive it every day. And then when I got to the point I was okay with forgiving and we were being, you continued. You continued the disrespect. You continued. So women don't just leave because you made a mistake or is it really a mistake? It was a choice because you made a choice. We don't just leave at the beginning. We leave because you kept doing it, you know? So I'd had enough. I know who I am. I know my value and what I bring to a relationship, and more importantly, a marriage. And when I didn't reciprocate what I was given, it was time for me to go. It was time for me to go. So, you know.
I find that through my 54 years on Earth, I find that more women are prone to giving a man chances, if you will. I would do something. She would give me a chance. I would do something. She'll give me a chance. I would do something. She'll give me a chance. She would do something. I would cut her head off. So, and I think that a lot of times men, we don't get the fact that just the way we feel, they feel the same way. Yeah. But one thing for men, and please don't take my man card because I'm telling this, is that one reason we lose it so hard is because of our pride. It's a pride thing. Because pride is a killer for a man. A lot of women don't know that. And I might lose my man card by saying it, but pride is a killer for a man. And not to say that women don't have pride. Never going to say that. But for a man to know that somebody else has been there for what he considered his, it's a done deal. Like, it's, you know what? I'm good. But we don't realize that women have that same kind of feeling. And I don't know if it's a pride thing for women because I've never been a woman, so I couldn't say that. But for a man, it's a pride thing. So I don't know what it is for a woman, but a lot of men take women for granted. And so I've seen it.
Just to backtrack on what I said women don't just leave.
Right.
Well, I can't speak for all women.
Right.
Let me speak for me.
Okay.
I didn't just leave because he did what he did. I stayed and I stuck it out, right?
Right.
And again, I said that it's when he kept doing it that made me want to leave, right? I don't know if it's pride. All I know is I was tired of dealing with it. There's no way I'm going to be that wife that go and grab you a hot towel while you're in the shower. There's no way I'm going to lay out your bedclothes. There's no way I'm going to iron your work clothes. There's no way I'm going to cook and clean and do all these things that I do for you and present your dinner to you on a silver platter, literally, when it's time to have dinner. I'm not going to continue to be a good wife to somebody who is dealing with me treacherously. And that's just what it was. And I repressed all of those feelings for a long time. And it wasn't pride. For me, it wasn't pride. It was, I want this to work. I want it to last. We're all humans. It was, I can forgive you, but stop.
Right.
So it's when you didn't stop, I had to stop. Yeah. So I poured myself into my business, okay? I poured myself into my child's athleticism. He was, student athlete, I'm there. I didn't call home, didn't check in. I stopped being a wife. I stopped caring. I stopped being your companion. I work round the clock. And oftentimes too much. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm up when the driver's up. 2 o'clock, I'm answering the phone. There's nobody there to check me and say, hey, don't answer the phone, or your driver's calling too late. There's nobody next to me to check me on that. So, and it wasn't because we were in the same house. If you understand where I'm coming from.
I got you.
So if nobody's there to check me on, I'm gonna move how I want to move. And I'm gonna do what I need to do. And it was not about another person for me. It was about me building my business and me being responsible for these families that are attached to me. So in essence, I wasn't taking care of the family in the house. Made sure my child was good, yeah. But I wasn't taking care of the most important thread of it, and that was me. I wasn't taking care of that thread that bond us together. I was making sure my kid was good and all the families on the outside that I was responsible for, their income good. That was it. So I threw myself in that. I found a lot of peace outside of the home in doing that. I enjoyed it. But then when it all came down to where I couldn't take anymore, yeah.
It's a wrap.
It was a wrap. It was a wrap, and I exploded. And it was more so of, I'm out of here. When I got an apartment, left my home, took my kid, and we stayed there.
So the divorce, was it amicable?
No, I tried that.
Okay.
And you cannot be amicable in a divorce when you have assets, at least where I'm concerned.
Okay.
I don't know about how it works in rich people problems and stuff like that, but for Vicky, it didn't work like that. I build not only a business for myself, I help him build a business for himself. Okay? I'm not taking your stuff. Don't try to take mine. That's just how I felt about it.
Right.
I'm not touching it. That's fair. Anything that was given to us in the marriage by any of the friends, i.e., we were given property as a wedding gift from a best friend. The right thing for me to do was to give that property to him. Am I right or wrong? I just want to know. So if I'm giving you everything that was given to us as gifts, or things that you've given to me to help me build my business, or I never took anything. I was taking all the debt. I took all the wrong. If it's me, you can have everything. Just let me go. That's not how it went. That's not how it went. So here are the papers. Here's what we agreed to. Let's get them signed. And unfortunately, like many women, when a guy says, I'm sorry, and you think it's sincere, I did. I really do. To this day, I think it's sincere. You try to work on these things. I closed on a home, moved in a home. He helped us move in. And not to go into detail, but the only people that should have been in the home should have been me and the child. Period. That's not how our living situation went. And we had a domestic issue at some point. And from that point, my ex was in the home. So from February to April, we did communicate. It was miserable, but he's here. So since he's here, let me use this as an opportunity. Let's have a conversation. We had a lot of conversations on about working it out. A lot of conversations on let's go to counseling, because I very much did. Was it a clever
conversation?
It wasn't clever. It was downright rude. But we were separated for a while before we got back into our home, right? So yeah, he's my husband. I did still love him. I did. So I visited the thoughts of repairing the marriage. But that meant I had to examine myself and correct some things in me, right? But I can't be the only one trying to make it work. So we decided we'd try to work on it, and it still didn't work. Because you can't just go out on our anniversary and stay out all night and then expect it to work.
Pause. Go out on an anniversary as in we go out on an anniversary, or go out on an anniversary as in me go out on an anniversary?
Go out on the anniversary as he went on the anniversary night. I was at home.
On your anniversary?
Uh-huh. So, yeah.
Wow.
2:30 in the morning, you come back in, I ask for a divorce. I already had the papers in my email because we had already been separated for a time before that. So the papers were already in my email. I got them. He said print them. I don't think that he liked the fact that I called his bluff. We argued, and it was the worst argument of our lives. We argued, and it was bad. So, yeah, I said a lot of things. My mouth was reckless, and it can be. I'm trying to refrain from who that person is, and I'm learning. I'm growing in grace. I'm growing. But when you argue, you know how a lot of times people say you say a lot of things you don't mean when you argue? Well, for me, in that moment, I meant everything I said. Because it was nothing but bitterness, harsh disappointment.
It was your pot of hot water from all of this
all
stuff.
of the stuff that I never told people. All of the stuff that was I just burst. And I said a lot of things, downright disrespectful. Didn't care because I was done. So let me get it all out.
And I don't like your mama chicken.
And mama came up too. Yeah, the mama came up too. I love his mom. But I meant what I said in that moment.
Right.
I can't recall everything that I said, but I know nothing was good about it because at this point, why won't you just leave? That's how I felt.
So I have to know. 2:30 in the morning, I'll come home, our anniversary. Hey, baby, happy anniversary.
No, I didn't get any of that.
What, like... If you could remember, what did he say coming in the house 2:30 in the morning of your anniversary by himself after whatever?
I didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything?
No,
Just came in the house and then it was the old school joint, like when mama tell you better be in the house before 12 and it's 1 o'clock, you walk through the door, she's sitting on the sofa?
No, he didn't say anything. But it was me sitting up in my bed and I had a lot to say.
You know,
because, yeah, I'm ready. I'm on 100 and,
okay.
Yeah, I'm only going to ask you once. You're not going to tell me a lie because you already know there's nothing you could really say or explain. Nothing you could say to me at that point.
Yeah.
That was the ultimate disrespect. How the heck are we trying and you come here
on
anniversary?
Yeah.
So when it's all said and done and I don't care because it's public information, now that we're talking about this, it hit the internet. The body cam footage.
Wait. 2 o'clock, 2:30 morning, he come home, your anniversary. That information.
All of that hit the internet from the body cam footage. Not
body cam mean police.
Yes. The
police came.
The police came.
Okay.
So the body cam footage from the incident hit the internet. Yeah, we went from talking about trucking to divorce. Let's really get into it.
We're viral.
Let's really get into it. Real people, right? So the body cam footage hit the internet. But the body cam footage only showed from when the police got there, right? My account, his account, and the recording. No big deal. We're used to recordings in my home. We had several cameras. He's always had cameras in the house, always. No big deal, all right? The only place that the cameras did not face was the shower or when, you go into the bathroom. There was apparently several cameras in my bedroom.
That you knew about?
I did not know about. We, in fact, when we went back to the house, me and my sister-in-law found a bunch of cameras. No big deal, whatever. Let's not even go into that.
That's not creepy at all.
Let's not even go into that.
Okay.
But I guess, he pulled one of the recordings off of one of the cameras, whatever, and played the recording for the police, and which resulted in me going to jail. I called the police for help. I didn't call the police on the black man that was just yelling at me or just fighting me. I called them for a very good reason. In the midst of our arguing all over the house, like we were back and forth all over the house. We had house guests living with us at the time as well. So arguing, it was a bad argument, and I'm going to stand my ground, and I want you gone, and I'm ready to be divorced, and this is done. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. And we argued. So it went from get away from me, that type of thing to me, just out of the blue. I'm 6 feet away from you. Even COVID, you have to be 6 feet away. I would say a little smart shit. Excuse me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Smart crap to aggravate the situation.
We good.
To aggravate the situation, I'm gonna stand. I'm standing my ground. I'm mad. I'm upset. He's mad. He's upset. We're going back and forth. And being who he is, I know who he is. I just didn't think he was going to take it that far. So we went back and forth, and he said, don't hit me or something of that nature. I don't remember everything for verbatim. And I said, yeah, right, I hit you. Well, that's what got me arrested.
He asked you not to hit him.
Yeah.
So that he could say something. That was premeditated.
I've never put my hands on him. He's never put his hands on me. Like, he's never hit me. I don't want the world to feel like, oh, this man hit her and she retaliated. No, that's not what happened. I honestly feel, and I'm not making excuses, I honestly feel that my ex was going through something at the time, something mentally. And when I asked for that divorce, and I pretty much was telling him what he was going to get and what he wasn't going to get, even though that's what he got in the end anyway. But I think that bothered him to a point because he had some things happen in his family where people took things from him. And so all those traumas rolled into that one night.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not making excuses. I just had to be accountable for my actions and accept that I aggravated a situation. So in me aggravating a situation, I was the closest thing to him, and I'm taking everything from him. He said some words, and then the next thing I know, a weapon was to my chin. That's something very real that happened, and whether he did it to scare me, or that could have been a night that I wasn't here anymore. I thank God I'm still here because that happened.
Was that the first time that he got that angry, like you ever presented a weapon towards you or something?
No. It happened that February when he punched a hole in the wall, whatever. And it ended up in an incident with me running out of the house, called the police, whatever. And they told me, well, we can't do anything about it because, he hit the wall in the hallway. Had it happened in the bedroom, he would have been going to prison. I was like, that didn't make sense. Or going to jail, but that didn't make sense. So
the square, depending on what part of the square footage you're on in the house.
It didn't make sense. They said if it happened in the bedroom, then, they could have taken him away. But go your way for a little while and relax. If you have somewhere to go, you go ahead and leave. So I did that. I left, got time to cool off, and then, me being me, that's my house. I put my money in this house. I'm going home. I went home to my house. Yeah. And that's what I did. I went home to my house. He was there. We just didn't say anything for like a week straight. So, and then it comes around, you have to talk to me now because we're in the house. Was it easy? No. Did I still like him? No, I didn't like him. I wanted him to leave. I wanted a divorce. I was still angry, and I had to deal with that until we were able to communicate with each other and have a decent conversation.
So the body cam footage, all of that, did you guys have to go to court, any of that?
I went to court because I went to jail.
So he didn't have to come to court or nothing like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he did.
What happened in court?
Court kind of went like this. They sent papers to the house for him to come to court, the house that we lived in. Well, I had already changed my address to go to a P.O. box, so he probably never got papers or something. I don't know. But he wasn't there. All I know, my charges got dismissed. The police officer or officers or whatever, I didn't have to do all that stuff. They dropped my bond like 2 or 3 times before I even got out. It was, it's a domestic issue. She's arrested. Why isn't he arrested? It was just so much.
It wasn't your gun,
It didn't make sense. They pulled 2 guns off of him. I don't think they showed that. I didn't watch the internet crap or whatever. To my knowledge, it painted me in a very bad light because it only showed the camera footage from the police. It didn't show what actually happened in the house.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. When I was told about it, it was okay. So that's how I feel. So it happened. I don't have to see it. I lived it. And an end result was charges dismissed. Charges dismissed.
Here.
I mean, the evidence was there. Charges dismissed. However, you still had a very traumatized person.
Right.
And he may have his own traumas. I don't doubt. So that was 2.5 hours of therapy every week.
So how long ago was that?
2-3 years.
2-3 years.
Yeah.
So since then, have you had the chance to speak with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys spoke since then?
Yeah. We're very amicable.
So now we're good.
We're good. He was the one that told me about, the thing hitting their internet. And my response was, so. He's more bothered by it. And I don't think he's bothered because he thinks I'm going to tell everything, because everything will show people that this was really bad. This was a really bad situation. And it wasn't just what we saw on the internet.
Right.
I don't care. I lived through it. I was arrested. Charges are dismissed. He and I are good. We are amicable. Heck, we work together. We're just divorced. He lost his wife because he couldn't get it together. He couldn't stop doing what he was doing, and all he had to do was fix it. He didn't fix it, so we're divorced. And I'm good with being divorced. So, and I'm good with being amicable. I can't say we're friends,
Right.
because he's an ex-husband. He was somebody that I was supposed to be with for the rest of my life. He was somebody that I was very much in love with, that I married and loved, you know? So I don't hate him, and he doesn't hate me. We just weren't good married when the tables turned. We were good when we were good. We were happy when we were happy.
Until we wasn't.
Until we weren't.
I like how you said that earlier. Everything was good.
Until we weren't.
Until we wasn't.
Yeah.
Like it was good until it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't care about, I think my family and friends, they were concerned about what the internet showed.
Right.
In this society, in this world we live in, we all know we are guilty until proven innocent. It's not the other way around. We're guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty, all that's lies. Because
Yeah.
first you're guilty until the folks prove you otherwise.
Yeah. And people are like, did you read the comments? No. I don't read comments. Do I look like somebody read comments?
I am not.
I didn't read the comments.
Reader.
I didn't even open it.
Right.
Because I lived it. And I didn't want it to trigger any old emotions or old feelings.
Have you going with Twitter fingers again?
No.
Yeah.
No, I've grown so much, and I don't care. I really don't. I don't care what people have to say negatively about me. People who don't contribute to my life. They need to use that screen time and invest in their own.
Come through now.
And that's how I feel about it.
Come through.
So people that make negative comments about situations that they are not fully educated on and aware, they're just projecting something they're going through in their lives. Yeah. So, they're going to feed the fire. They're going to fuel the fire. Well, I'm going to be the water to put it out. I don't care.
Got that directly from her. I don't care. She don't care. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, too, what that actually shows is the difference in growth and development, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, when we were younger, you would care. He said what? It said what? I ain't know.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay.
It would incite those things that you say, I say of it all, would incite another fight. It'll incite more discord. I work with my ex-husband, right?
Okay.
I see him every day. Hey, driver, how you doing?
What up, driver?
What's going on? Let's get this money.
Happy birthday, too.
Right. So, it is what it is. Things are not like, we're not all lovey-dovey and things are beautiful. We are amicable and at peace with one another. And, what else is going on? We're healing. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. It's a process.
We're healing. So
progress is a process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about with your growth. Were there any books or any authors or any mentors or any people like that helped you on your journey? Like to be able to understand peace. Like everybody can't understand peace. Because some people live in mess. Some people live in ratchetness, if you will. Some people live in garbage. So to understand peace, sometimes we read a book. Sometimes we have a mentor. Sometimes we have an author or a person that we can talk to. Is anything like that from your point of view or your perspective that you had during your journey?
Unfortunately, I was a person that internalized everything. Everything. So that's what got me in the situation before. And then when I fell into this hole of the depression, right, I didn't just tell people. I just stayed in the house. I had different friends be there, but I really couldn't vent to one friend because his mom had just passed. And we were very close. So I couldn't tell my friends what were going on. I couldn't tell another friend because she was in another situation. It's like I had to just get through it by myself. So there was no books, there was no friends, there was no nothing. I was at my worst, and all I had was right in front of me, and that was my kid. Just get up, take him to school, do what you need to do. That was all I had in me. The rest of my days was filled with tears, crying, and trying to figure it out until I started working at, I decided I need to get back to work, maybe if I get busy. I didn't just go back and start doing my own thing again. I just went back to corporate America and I started working at this place. Was it a good fit for me when I went in? Heck no. Heck no. I already knew what I was getting myself into, but
What kind of
I saw the
place was
potential.
it?
It was a trucking company.
Okay.
I saw potential for me. It was something for me to do. It was not too far from the house.
You still got your trucking company
Yeah,
stuff. Okay.
still have my things in order. Everything is still in good standing, but not running at the capacity that it was when I was just full on.
Right.
So I went back to corporate America because, hey, I need to get busy. Let me just start over. So here I was thinking, even though I had my own thing, maybe God doesn't want that for me. I started thinking sideways. God always want me for me. But I was thinking I can go and, help somebody else build their business and just go there and learn what I need to learn. I met somebody who's very dear to my heart that challenges me every day on being great, right? We debate about all kind of topics. And those topics are what helped me to try to find my balance and get myself back going. And even though those challenges and conversation, sometimes he was my biggest challenge too. Just who he is as a person and who we were to each other.
Okay.
But he's a very good friend of mine and he's helped me be better, helped me be
Sometimes those healthy debates, those healthy opposite attract, even if it's just a conversation. Sometimes that stuff is great because it does a couple of things, right? It allows you to learn once we listen. It allows you to learn something different, and or if you guys are debating on something and he says something and you don't think it's true, and then later you go look, you be like, oh, yo, he was right.
Yeah.
So now you know that it's a healthy debate, and that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a healthy debate. It also just certain conversations that we had. It was like, okay, I'm strong enough to put myself in therapy now. It doesn't have to be court ordered.
Listen,
I'm
gonna say it. You got me right here. I'm gonna say it. As Black folks, we don't really do that. As Black folks, we say, I don't need therapy. That's for white people. That's what we say. But the reality is, no matter what color you is, releasing your truth, and sometimes having people help you get into understanding how you need to release your truth.
Right. And it's not always just venting to a friend, because sometimes friends don't give you, they give you some bad advice. But, growing up, we have, we were brought up, what goes on this house stays in this house type deal.
Right here.
So that's why.
Relationships, too. What happens in this relationship
stays right here. And that's why I internalize everything. And
that's why I got what you said earlier. And you said you didn't respond.
I reacted.
You reacted.
And
so when you said that earlier, I was like, okay, see, because that's kind of like how we do a lot. We don't respond, we react.
We react. And I've learned how to respond by going to therapy and group sessions, working on me. Because at the end of the day, I'm my most important asset. I have to be okay to make sure my children are okay, right? So that was all it was about. Me, working on me, making sure I'm okay. And I wasn't okay. From childhood traumas to adult trauma, I wasn't okay. The divorce just brought all of that out of me.
Everything out. That pot.
Yeah.
It blew the top off that
It blew
pot.
the top off. And actually, I love who I am. Like, I love me. I love who I am.
Queen.
I've grown to be. I thought I was heard then, but listen. Listen, my name says it all. My name says victory, right? So I've embraced that. There's no failure, and I agree totally with my friend. He said there's no failure, there's lessons. You're absolutely right. I've learned the lessons that, and most things that I can take away from what happened that night, happen in every situation, is don't argue. If you're unhappy about something, state your piece, state your claim. If people don't want to change, move on. I don't care. I don't care if it's a marriage. Of course you want to fight for your marriage. These are your vows and you just don't want to leave. But if it's killing you and you're miserable, leave. You don't have to argue about it. Just go. Start over. Begin again. If it's meant to be, that person will come back and you guys can be together. But I'm not even looking for that. I'm looking for a Vicky. I don't even want to be the old Vicky because the old Vicky got me to that place in life. I'm expounding and growing in grace with this new girl. And I love her. She likes sitting out on the porch and, the breeze blowing and
Having
reading a
glass
book.
of
Or
wine.
if I decide to have a glass of wine, or heck, if I decide to read the book of Esther and have a Bible study, it's whatever brings me peace. Peace is so important to me. If I don't feel peaceful about something, I go with my first instinct. I just won't do it.
Listen, peace would be the dollar bill. Being at peace, even if it's like at a job. And for example, I took a job making less money, but it was peaceful. I didn't have to worry about the stress of da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm making less money, but my soul is at peace. But I'm happier to go to work now. And I'm going to do more while I'm at work now because it's peace. Peace will be the dollar bill every day.
I can identify with that right here in my current situation. All right. Sometimes we get pushed out of corporate places, whether it's lies, jealousy, or manipulation, whatever it is. God closed the door.
Right.
So if the door was closed, you begin again. So I took a job where I'm making less money.
Girl, you look peaceful.
I'm at peace.
Girl, you look peaceful.
I'm at peace. I'm so at peace. Skin glowing.
You so at peace, you make me peaceful.
I'm at peace. And then you never know how God is going to set up things for you where you could still make the same money. Listen, I took a job that made less money. I have so much peace. Less hours of work. Less responsibility. Just less. Heck, it's not my business. I didn't put all that energy and defect into my business. I'm not going to build somebody else's business and be crying about it. I'm stressed. Nope.
So was that the only time you ever got fired from a job, or?
No.
Okay.
Since we talking about transparency, nah. I just told somebody this the other day.
What was the craziest time you got fired from a job, and what was the stupid reason that they fired you? Like, because I'm sure it was, or was the reason they fired you legitimate? Like, I don't know.
I think every time in their minds it might have been something legitimate, but this was the stupidest, most craziest reason. Somebody called and said I had 21 trucks. That was the most stupidest.
Wait, pause.
This job knew when they hired me, I was a truck owner. This job knew when they hired me, I had my own business.
And
this job
because
knew
you got trucks,
they said I had 21.
Is the limit 20? I don't really understand.
I don't know. I don't know where the conflict came in. All I know is they knew all of this stuff, right? But the 21 trucks, when it began to bother the drivers, 21? Thank you for seeing that vision. Thank you for seeing all of that prosperity in my life, baby. Because if I have 21 trucks, and I'm saying this to you, and I said it to them, if I had 21 trucks, why would I be here? So that's the reason they may have given me. But and I know that wasn't.
Yeah, but
fact.
like, I don't even know how that'll come. Can we speak to you in the office? It comes to our attention that you have 21 trucks, so we're gonna have to let you go.
It kind of went along those lines, but with more stuff added and
just the BS.
The BS of it all.
Right.
And I really, really feel, and I may be wrong, and I don't care.
Right.
But I really, really feel that was God's way of telling me, because I had gotten comfortable in that position, and I started making plans to put my trucks down, to sell them, and just not do it anymore on my own, right? God said, oh, yeah?
That's what you think?
I gave you a plan. You are your most important asset, and you put all this energy into other people's businesses, and I gave you one?
I told you what was going to happen.
I gave you what you asked me for, and you just going to put it down? Well, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. So basically, they booted me just for me to get back out there and regroup to get myself together to run my own shit.
So what would you say to the person that fired you from that position? What would you look in the camera and tell them? What would you say? What would you say to them right this very second, based on what they did?
Because I was raised right, I don't have anything to say to that person.
Okay. Well, I got fired from a job. And the reason I got fired, or the reason that was told to me, is because it was said, well, Ricky, you were late 5 times in 5 months. No more than 5 minutes each time. So it becomes a pattern, is what they said. They said I was late once a month, less than 5 minutes, and it became a pattern. So if I could say something to them, the guy name was Derek. I won't say his last name.
Or
and
call
I won't,
his name.
And I won't say the place.
Put a name on it.
And I won't say the place.
Put a name on it. Okay.
I'm going to say it to his face. Nah. I'm going to say,
thank you.
I appreciate you, brother.
Okay. That's great.
When I see you ever, I got you. Whatever you want, I got you. Because the move he made, getting me fired, allowed me to be right here, right now.
Yeah.
It allowed me to do what I did for the last 15 years. That brought me here.
Yeah.
It allowed me to be able to have the opportunity to every day speak my truth. So, Derek, thank you.
So would it be fair to say that all the takebacks, all the things that we feel that somebody did us wrong, or they lied, or they persecuted us, all of that trouble, in the end, we win. We got double.
W's. Oh, wait, I can't do it. Yeah. My ring on. I can't.
Yeah.
Win. That's all we're going to do.
That's it.
Vicky, we're going to win.
We're going to win. So it doesn't matter what has
happened. You can't
happened.
hold us down.
You just keep moving.
Listen. And the reality, let's be 100 though. The reality is that without those things happening, we would not be where we are. Without the issues and the struggles and the trials that you and I have both had growing in our journey, we would not be right here. Because the thing is, had he not did what he did to get me fired, I would probably still be at that corporation doing that. I probably wouldn't be here.
You probably wouldn't be here.
I probably wouldn't be here.
And I wouldn't be sitting here, and I wouldn't have a story to tell, even though we didn't go into grave detail. The end result is I won.
So the thing is, I got another question for you.
There you go.
You ready?
I'm ready.
What advice would you give young women based on your journey? Your journey was filled with ups, downs, marriages, divorce, children, jobs. What advice would you give a 10-year-old girl that's saying, hello, Miss Vicky, pause. Let me change that. What advice would you give the 10-year-old Vicky about life, about the journey, about what advice would you give her?
The advice I would give the 10-year-old me, hey, you're going to have some ups and downs coming. They're not going to feel good. They're going to be embarrassing. There are going to be some disappointments. There's going to be some hurt, some pain. You're going to experience a lot of things by people close to you. It's never the people away. Go to therapy. Get some therapy. Head it off. Learn how to deal with these traumas in the beginning. So when you got a plan to deal with them, you can get through them easier. I got through them all without therapy, right? But I think I would have been better if I knew how to deal with them as they came, right? So the 10-year-old me would have been healing some of those childhood traumas, because at 10, I had some traumas.
At 10?
At 10, I had some traumas. So
something to talk about? Or?
We can. The adult me would tell the 10-year-old me, hey, it's going to get worse, but then it'll get better.
Right quick.
Right. It's going to be a process, and all that stuff is going to pile up on you, and it's going to pile and pile and pile, and then one day you're going to hit the floor. So get some therapy. Get somebody that can actually help you navigate through life. Don't worry about getting married. I would have told myself that. Don't worry about getting married. Get some therapy. Heal yourself. Focus on your dreams. And then pursue love. Love would have probably been last. That's what I would tell me.
Self-health, career,
and then love.
Then love.
Get yourself together. I did get the foundation from my parents.
Who've been married forever.
As
ever.
of yesterday, 49 years to be
Come
exact.
through, family.
49 years.
Come through. Congratulations
And
on that.
my parents went through it. They went through some things, and some of the things that they went through, I directly felt that. So it's fair enough for me to say it, But with respect to my parents, I won't disclose. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm getting what I need to survive. So, or I'm getting what I need to start living. That's better because
I like that.
I'm not just in survival mode anymore. I'm living now. But yeah, that's just what it is. People, our community, mental health issues are a really big deal. Stop getting into this huddle of, let's keep it in the family. No, seek help. Seek guidance. The therapist is not your enemy. They're to help bring these things out, things that you've repressed, things that you don't want to talk to anybody else about or talk to your friends about. Talk to somebody where you won't ever have to hear it again or see it on social media. Just talk to somebody to help you navigate through those things. I'm a better me today because of it. I'm a better mom. I see clearer plans and things for me for my business. Things that I already knew back then, it really wasn't as clear as it is now that I can fully think because my mind was clouded because of everything that I was enduring, everything that I had going on. I'm richer today than I was 3 years ago.
Come through.
So I'm okay. And all the structure that my parents taught me about finances and credit, those things followed me into adulthood. So I'm able to get anything I want with just the credit alone. I don't have to spend my money to get it. You get what I'm saying?
That's how the rich stay rich, really.
That's how they stay rich.
They stay rich.
At one point, I was a bag and shoe type of girl, but I never spent my own money on it. So what difference did it make?
Right.
I saved my money. So those things that are assets, I can sell those bags right now and then just throw the money in the bank. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not about the material things. Focus on the most important thing is you. Focus on building you. And sometimes we have to see people or talk to people to help us do that. That doesn't mean we have to always go get medication or anything like that. That's not with a therapist. They're not going to put you on medication. They're not going to throw you in a mental health institution. No, this is somebody that you could build trusting and relationships with and sit down and have clever conversations with and be able to move through life better than just doing it on your own. They will help you figure it out. And I've met so many influential people along the way. All of them were in therapy. You know what I'm saying? They weren't there because they're crazy. They're there because it's just some things you can't talk to people about because these are not just regular, smuggler, degular people. They're extraordinary. Sometimes their mind thinks faster than what the average human being does. So they need some guidance on different things. They're not people that could just walk out and say, hey, I don't need security. I have a lot of good friends. And the first thing that they would say is, hey, you got to see about you. Not knowing they were telling me I need to go and see a therapist. They just would always tell me, go see about you. What does that mean? I am seeing about me. I'm staying locked up in the house. I'm staying away. I'm out of the foolishness. And I'm not in the midst of mess. No, just go sit down and talk to somebody, girl. Don't even be judgmental or scared to do it. I love it.
Sometimes talking to a therapist is easier, and I'm guessing because you could talk to me, and I am either going to do one or two things. I'm going to either co-sign or I'm going to be always argumentative.
Right.
So if I'm your road dog, I'm going to pretty much co-sign
everything.
Whether you right or wrong, I'm going to co-sign it.
Yeah.
Because you my fam, right?
Right.
Or if I'm on the opposition and we all have that friend that's always, no matter what you say, they got to come the opposite of that.
Right.
But the therapist is going to just listen. The
right.
therapist, from my understanding, I don't know, I haven't been yet. Please sign me up. I haven't been yet, but from my understanding, they listen. And then once they listen, they give you the opportunity to think your process.
That's exactly right. My therapist has never given me advice, right? Sitting down with you, you're automatically on my side because you love me.
Right.
You're going to sit here and you're going to let me vent and let everything out, and you're on my side, right?
Facts.
Even though something I said or did wrong, you're not going to say, well, Vic, you was totally wrong. You can be like, all right, you could do something different, do something better.
Right.
You're not going to point out the thing or even see the very thing that caused me to react the way I did. You're just going to hear what you hear, and you see my emotions of it all. Whereas the therapist is going to hear what I hear. She's going to listen. She hears what I'm saying, and then she would always find, Vicky, did you know? Well, can you do it differently this way? She'll help me find my way and navigate through it so I can have a successful outcome.
Right.
Your friends and family just gonna be there. Girl, you want to go
what you
beat
want
as
to do?
hell? You want to ride? What you want to do?
Where they at?
Yeah, you know.
Ski mask
So,
up. Where they at?
Yeah, I'm not saying family and friends don't love you to the point where they want you to do wrong things or anything like that. They love you to their limits of knowing, and that's a lot of times to reacting, not helping me to respond. We gonna react all day.
All day.
Help me respond, and sometimes people got to know that no response is a response.
Sometimes when you talk to me or your friend, I'm just saying me for as example. Sometimes when you talk to me, you're not talking to me for me to say something.
Right.
Sometimes you're talking to me
just to listen.
Just for me to listen.
Yeah.
And you don't need a cosigner.
Right.
You don't need a yes man. Sometimes I'm talking to you
just for you to listen.
I want you to listen.
I don't want your opinion.
So it was a survey taken a while ago. I don't remember how long ago it was, but the survey was, what percentage of people you think know how to just listen? What percentage out of 100 would you think it was?
Maybe 2.
Exactly, 2%. So 98% of us, when you start telling me a story, I'm start creating a story in my head. Yeah. For example, if you say, hey, Rick, I went to a club last night and this guy, and then in my mind, I'm thinking, he tried to come on and want to buy a drink, because I'm part of the 98% that don't know how to just listen. Right. If I was just listening, all I would have heard was this guy. I would have never start creating a whole story in my head about what I think you're getting ready to say.
Right.
Because a lot of people listen to respond.
And I think that's how social media works, right?
Definitely.
You put something out there, they don't have a backstory. They don't have all
They
all
don't
the
even
facts.
have facts.
They don't have, you know what I'm saying? They just sit there and they listen to react. And then
like,
it's crazy.
They're eating your cats and dogs.
Yeah. The cats and dogs are mighty tasty. They well seasoned.
Listen, doesn't have curry on it.
Right. You know, it's crazy. We just have to get to a point that we grow to love a new us. Try to strive, and maybe it doesn't come till you hit a certain age. I don't know. But if you would have caught me 2 years ago, I probably was like, yeah, I came down those stairs like a champ. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did that. And it don't matter. We divorced. No, it does matter. I didn't like going to jail for 2 days. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I would never go back for something so mediocre or anything like that. Defending my children, you know, I'm gonna always be Mama Bear.
Right.
And it's my God-given right to defend my child. So I'm gonna do just that. I've changed and evolved so much. Like the person I'm still becoming, right? I like this girl.
I think she cool. I'm just saying. I'm gonna throw it out. I think she cool.
I love me, and I'm growing to be a more successful, healed, whole version, sexier version of me. Like, does it get any better? I'm just saying. Like, I love her. I'm getting better by grace daily. Not perfect. But I strive for perfection. There is a thing. And when I say I strive for perfection, I look back on some of the things that I did wrong yesterday, that I may have said or done yesterday, and I revisit those things. So I try not to do them today. You get what I'm saying? So I could be a better mom, a better daughter, a better sister, a better friend. So.
Well, I think you're the best cousin. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Thank you.
I call that process, that journey that you were just speaking of, I call it GAD. G-A-D. Growth and development. Because everybody don't grow and develop. Like, for example, every male is not a man to me. I don't think if I'm home playing the video games all day while my lady is working, I don't think that makes me a man. I think I'm still a male. For example, I have a 7-year-old grandson. He's a male. He is not a man.
Right.
You could be a 40-year-old boy.
I agree.
You could be a 50, 60-year-old boy. And so I call that process, that journey that you were talking about, growth and development, GAD, G-A-D. So the growth and development is there. It's you clearly brought it. Man, listen.
I like to say, the growth and development of it all. The woman who I thought I was is probably something, I don't know, a science book, because of my age defined me as being a woman. I was not. I'm all woman today.
You heard it. She's all. Let me do that. She's all woman today.
Today. I like this woman. Yeah, I like her.
Well, you know what, man? Sometimes, it takes us growing into who we actually are, and that takes time. A lot of the youth, they like to live what I call microwave life. They want everything right now.
Yeah.
And as you are people of a certain age, we just understand that grandma put that cornbread in the oven, and it's going to take 48 minutes to cook. Now, at 23 minutes, it's going to brown. She's going to go in with a toothpick. She's going to stick the toothpick. But it's not a rush job.
Not to be preachy.
Be preachy one time.
My pastor preached a sermon, and I think I heard it twice. Are you cake yet? All the times that he would preach that sermon, are you cake? All the ingredients and all the things that God is putting inside of you. And then when the heat is turned up, we don't want to stay in the heat. I stayed in that heat for years and didn't want to stay in that heat. I jumped out the oven before I was cake. Well, guess what? I've been remixed, put back in that oven, and I stayed in there just long enough to know that now I'm cake. I'm done.
Toothpick
in. I'm good.
No bread come off,
I'm
so you
cake.
good.
I'm cake.
What kind of cake you are? What kind of cake are you, though?
The moist, smooth, delicious
Are you pineapple, upside down pineapple?
I'm not going to put no flavor on it. I'm going to save that for the next level of my life to tell you what kind of cake I am.
Okay.
Leave it at that.
Hey, listen. So I just want one last thing.
Okay.
What legacy do you want to leave for your family? Like, for your family, for children, for people, like, years after you're gone, and when people speak of Victoria Barnwell, you want them to know that she was
a woman that cares, a woman that helps, and someone that always encouraged other people to don't ever give up on you and your dreams, ever. You know, I was at a point that I was ready to put down my business to build someone else's dream. That's not God's plan for your life. Don't ever give up on you. Do what it takes. All the relentlessness and tenacity that it takes to win, keep pushing.
I love it. So, with that being said, if people wanted to get in touch with you, if they wanted to hear more of your story and or build business or connect with you, how can they connect with you?
They can build business with me by reaching me at vbcexpresslogistics@gmail.com. I am rarely on social media. I'll tip in and tip out on Facebook under Victoria Barnwell. And then if you just ever now and again want to see a cute pic, you can find me on Instagram at Lovely Finesse.
Lovely Finesse for the pics. Y'all heard it. So I would like to say, here at Clever Conversations, we want to thank everybody for their time.
Oh.
And so we want to give you this if you want to open it and check it out.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, gifts. I love gifts. I do. Oh, this is nice, Ricky.
What does it say?
It says the Clever Conversations Podcast, and it has my name on the back. That's really sweet. Got me a little cup. Oh, and a T-shirt.
Uh-oh.
And some swag.
Okay, we got some more
nice
stuff.
Swag. I like swag. Let me look at this. You can't go wrong with black and white. My cousin's wife, Tia, she's big on black and white. Ebony Avenue Services. Have you met her?
You talking about Tia?
Yeah, Tia.
Tia was here last Saturday.
Oh, cool. Every time I see something in black and white, I think of her.
She was black and red, though.
Oh, she might want to trade. I'm going to hide this.
What does it say?
I had a Clever Conversation. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at the Clever Conversations Podcast. That's dope. I love that. Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking time out of your day, your busy schedule, your life with the kids and all that.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to come. What the box say too?
The box is dope. It says, thank you for having a clever conversation with me.
We thank you for having a clever conversation with us, taking up your time.
Thank you.
So with that being said, we're going to end this podcast the way we end all of them. Okay. And that's by saying 2 fingers.
One love. We out.